Peace. What's the word? What's happening, my good peoples? How y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Thursday, man? Hopefully, y'all staying positive, peaceful, productive, efficient, and staying safe out here, especially if you are in the areas that have been hit with this snow. But what's the word, man? Let me know how y'all living and feeling. Y'all see the subject matter today. About to go in again. Might ruffle some feathers, man. Might ruffle some feathers with this one, but y'all know I don't really too much care about any of that. But tap in with me, man. I'm gonna give y'all about 5 minutes to tap in with the kid, man, and we're gonna get into this build, man. Hopefully, y'all got about an hour or so to tap in with me, man. But before I get into my build, let me know how y'all living and feeling, man. Tap in with the kid on this wonderful Thursday, man. What's the word? Y'all see the subject matter, man. Y'all see what we about to talk about. Lindell, peace, what's happening? Melanin in mind, peace, what's happening? What's the word? Bree, peace, my good sister, what's happening? Evan, peace, what's happening? Clocks in, peace, y'all, yeah, for sure. Shout out to my peoples in LA, man. Hopefully y'all staying safe. Shout out to my peoples where I'm at. This snow been ridiculous, man. Like this weather over here been ridiculous. Like this, it's been pretty bad, man. They haven't treated the roads. I don't know what's going on around here, you know. But shout out to everybody that's affected by wildfires and inclement weather. Just shout out to everybody, man. Hopefully everybody's trying to stay as safe as possible. Because we know where some of this stuff is stemming from, man. MC, what's happening? Peace, what's happening? Hey, be safe in this snow, man. Because again, like I said, especially the Carolinas and my down south folks. Typically y'all not as prepared for this type of weather, man. So if St. Louis and these Midwestern states and cities are not as prepared, and it's been killing us, I can only imagine like Texas and the Carolinas, man. Y'all don't get this as much as we do. So if it's hitting us hard and they haven't treated our roads and whatnot, man, I can only imagine what y'all gonna go through, man. Because when I be talking to my, Louisiana and Mississippi fan, when they get a millimeter of snow, it's like the world ending over there because they don't have enough. They don't invest in that type of treatment, Mr. Barbados, what's happening? Hey, Keaton, what's happening? Shakir, peace. D, peace, what's happening? Clocks in for sure. Yeah, I peeped that. Tony, peace, what's happening? Y'all see the topic of this build today, man. I wanna dive into Ratchet music movement. It's been going on for a minute, but I want to tap into it, man. I want to highlight some things that I don't think people be realizing when it comes to music, when it comes to generalizations, when it comes to placing us in the box. Like people don't be realizing how often they do it. It's funny how people get offended when they get placed in a box or when they get generalized, and they are the main ones that generalize and place people in boxes. You know what I'm saying? So I think this topic is going to highlight something in regards to that. Oh, D, you already know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know how this one is gonna go. It might ruffle some feathers, but I feel like, man, at some point, and I said this, I wrote this down. And if you agree with me, tap in. If you don't, voice your opinion. But I feel like at some point, when it comes to like our interest in certain things, like, man, we gotta grow up and mature at some point, man. Like I'm approaching 35, man. I'm 34, and I don't get the same thrill listening to the music that I did at 17 or 16 that I get at 34. Like I'm on a different type of time. My mentality is different. Like the only thing I gained from listening to music when I was like 16 and 17 is like it's nostalgic. That's it. But other than that, like it don't hit me the same. And I'm like, it just don't. I was in a totally different. Now, if you wasn't a savage in pursuit of happiness at 16 and you was on the righteous tip, then this may not apply to you. But my mindset was like pure savagery, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger. So my choice of music reflected that. So when I'm on a different path now, it's harder for me to listen to that music I just don't get the same thrill from it. And that's part of maturity, man. That's part of elevating and evolving, or so I feel. So I feel like when you evolve, and I feel like when you growing as a person, I feel like it's certain things around you that should change. And I feel like your choice in music should change. Like I feel like music is something that it should change as you grow older. Like your choice in it, your preference, I should say, your preference in music should change as you grow older. Like I just don't feel like you should be listening to the same things that you were listening to when you was 15 and 16. Like literally enjoying it, like the same content. Like it could be newer artists, but they giving you the same content that you was embracing when you was 17 and 16. And when you was 17 and 16, you was up to no good. So why are you up to no good at 34, 35? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, again, everybody has different opinions when it comes to that, but that's how I feel about it. Like that's how I personally feel about that, man. Like the older I get, the more I'm trying to seek out things that's on the same frequency as we say that I'm on. I want to hear about Larry June drinking a smoothie, going to jog, talking about investing, things like that. Like I want to hear something like that. I want to hear somebody kick some information to me, man. I just don't want to hear shoot 'em up, bang, bang. Like I'm not on that. I'm not on that. So why do I want to listen to that, fam? It's one thing if I might be listening to it in the gym, but I'm different. I listen to a lot of, I listen to music that's dropping information in the gym a lot of times, man. I listen to a bunch of different things when I'm working out. But like my everyday chilling type of music, man, I don't want to be on that type of time. That stuff affects us in more ways than we would like to admit. Like I don't want to be shooting them up, bang, bang, when I'm chilling at the crib. Like, no, I'm not on that type of time. I'm chilling at the crib, man. I'm trying to think, or I'm trying to get motivated and inspired to make some business moves. I'm not trying to go shank somebody. I'm not trying to go fight. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be on that type of time. Or so that's how I feel. That's how I operate. But I'd rather, if it's going to have that element to it, I at least need it to be balanced, like very balanced. Like Larry June is balanced. Larry June going to have his moments where he's talking about some stuff I don't care for, but he got a nice balance to his music. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a nice balance to it. So I can weed out the stuff I don't really too much care for, but he got plenty of things that I do care for. And it's like, all right, cool. Now I'm motivated to drink my juice, drink my smoothie, go run, go jog, and study investing. So that overshadows and overpowers the other stuff he might have said that I don't too much care for. But these ratchet chicks, the only slight balance that they may have is that they may sprinkle some lines in there about like motivating you to get some money. But other than that, it's just like purely derogatory. You know what I'm saying? Purely. That's it. Like the only thing that they may inspire you to do with their lyrics outside of it just being ratchet is go get some money. That might be it. Other than that, pure ratchetness. And to me, that's nobody. Why are you listening to that on a day-to-day basis when you chilling like that? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. D for sure. Yeah, when you listen, like you know what I'm saying? Like it might be time. It's a time and a place for everything. So when I'm listening, I might turn on some of that. You know what I mean? And like even the stuff I turn on sometimes when I'm lifting might be a little older. Again, nostalgic purposes. So it might activate that energy that I had when I was lifting weights back in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I might tap in back to that energy or that mentality, for nostalgic purposes. So I might get that vibe or that frequency. But I don't want to be on that frequency when I step out of the gym, because that's not a good mindset for me to be in, because now I'm ready to knock some heads off. So sometimes when I'm, when you lifting weights, when you doing something like that, it's cool. Even sometimes when you go on a like party and whatnot, it may be cool to throw some of that on. But man, people some of this music people listen to day-to-day basis when they chilling. Like these are people's favorite artists. Like, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like, I can't do that at all. Man, Keaton, I ain't excited about it at all. Now, it's still some folks from time to time that come out and drop some stuff to where I'm like, okay, I can't wait. But I used to keep up with music in regards to when stuff was released. Now, I might just so happen to come across somebody I fool with releasing something. I don't be on it like I used to back when CDs dropped every Tuesday. Now, I just be like, dang, I ain't no such and such drop something. Let me go download it. Like Ransom. Ransom just dropped something. I was like, boom, let me go tap in. But I don't be looking for it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to. Breed, man, listen, vibration, frequency, all of that. You know, it's like, especially these record labels, like they have departments that study human behavior, like they study the mind, they study psychology. They know what will hypnotize the people. When they, especially back in the day, when they tapping into an artist and they trying to make that his song, like they factoring in all this. We need this type of beat, we need this type of hook, and we need you to say X, Y, and Z. Like they tapped into that. Like they know what can hypnotize you. They know what will hypnotize you. You know, and that's why they produce the music that they produce, and that's why they go get the artists that they go get. That's why they recruit certain folks to push that type of agenda. Like, I need this type of music to come out because this is what it will do to the people. And if anybody thinks that that's not a reality, like you are just delusional, naive, and gullible at this point, man. If you don't really understand the influence and impact that music has on you, you know, you are deceived just by thinking that. Like, it's ridiculous. Our ancestors, like, man, music was an integral part of their lives, man, because they knew and understood the power of music, the power of rhythm, the power of the drum. Like, this is what our ancestors knew this. You know, this is why they are able to hypnotize us the way that they do, because of our connection to rhythm, because of our connection to music. They use that against us, and we don't understand. They have blinded us to the actual reality and impact of it, and they using it against us like everything else. We the ones walking around acting like music and media and things like that don't really impact or influence behavior. Like, man, our ancestors knew that. This is why you can go study some ancient cultures right now, and some of the main things you won't come across is their connection to rhythm, dancing, music, drums. You gonna come across all that. You're not gonna study any ancient culture that ain't got that don't have that a part of the culture. You're not gonna study. You're not gonna find it, like, at all. Not even close. Like, not even close. Oh, Lindell, for sure. Of course, they're not gonna highlight Miley Cyrus. Like, they're not gonna highlight their people when their people are out here acting and doing ratchet things. They're gonna highlight more of the positives. But we don't do them any favors, really, with our responses to the ratchetness. I think that's one of the main differences. Like, we don't do them any favors the way we respond to the ratchetness. You know, the way we hype it up, the way we carry it on. Like, we don't do them any favors, you know, and part of that is by design. That's why they try to label us as hypersexual individuals, you know. That's why they did that, man, so they can push a lot of this nonsense that they pushing on us to justify that. They're going to label us hypersexual and continue to push all of this stuff. That's the justification. And every time we gravitate towards it, again, that just consistently or constantly reaffirms that labeling. See, y'all hypersexual. Look at who the top artist is and things like that. You know, but here's my thing. Here, I want to make this point before I forget about it. But here's one thing I wanted to bring up. Over the years, man, over my 34 years of existing, which, you know, that's not long, but man, you learn some things in 34 years. I have had to sit back. observe, analyze, overhear women place dudes, and they would say things like they will judge dudes or men based on the jobs that they have, cars that they drive, clothes that they wear, even crazy things like some of the interests that they may have. I've literally watched women place men in a box because of the job. They will give them whorish labels. Oh, dude is a hoe because of his occupation. So I've watched this happen. I've watched women do this. Now, simply because this is your job, this woman is now looking at you like you are a whore, a hoe. But then when we flip the script and we say, well, if you listening to this type of music, this is how I perceive you, then all of a sudden we are in the wrong. But you can look at an entire occupation, and every man that possesses this occupation, you think that they are out here being a hoe. That's fine for you all to do that. But when we say, man, if you walking around at 35 and 40 and all you listening to is Sexy Red, man, something wrong with you. Now we are the problem. And we generalizing and we doing this and that. But you literally didn't just said, oh, every dude that's a personal trainer is a hoe. So it's cool for you to do that. But then when I make an assessment based off of your taste in music, which you can learn a lot about a person via their taste in music. This is an actual fact. You know what I'm saying? But when I say something, when I make an assessment based off of that, it is a problem. But oh, he dressed like that, he must be this, that, and the third. Or he got this type of job, he must be X, Y, and Z. He drive this type of car. I know he be doing this, that, and the third. We can be generalized and placed in all of these boxes, but when we say something and we place them in a box, it's a problem. I find that to be very odd. I find that to be very, very odd. Terenzo, Chaos Rain, what's happening? Peace, peace. What's the question? D-Real, what's happening? And Bree, man, for sure, like I'm starting that, like that's the mindset that I'm striving to kind of be on, you know. Like I say, from time to time, if I'm working out, man, I might tap into some of the, you know what I'm saying, the older stuff that I listen to. But for the most part, man, when I'm chilling, man, I'm on a way different type of time, man. I might be listening to some jazz, some old blues, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm definitely listening to the music with the message, you know, or I'm just listening to somebody who's inspired me, man, to get up and go get it. That's pretty much what I be on. The only time you might catch me listening to something that's crazy is like when I'm working out, when I'm trying to activate that energy. And even sometimes in the gym, like I might just post a video with music attached to the video. But my actual gym session when I'm working out, man, I'll be listening to everything. I might not, the song that I might have included in the video, I might not have even been listening to while I was working out. Man, I'll be listening to jazz, everything working out. I'll be listening to everything. Like straight up. But again, I find it odd that somebody, a woman can tell me I'm a hoe based on my occupation, but I can't tell her she the same thing based on the music that she listening to. I have even gotten critiqued and judged based on music that I listen to. So I feel like it's a fair assessment. And it ain't even judged like you be right on point. When you see me and I'm listening to my conscious music, like when I'm listening to that, some of the things that you say, some of the things that people have said be right and exact. When they catch me listening to my conscious music, which is very often, they have this preconceived notion that I'm aware and I read and do certain things. I'm like, you right. So if you able to pick that up from me listening to conscious music, then I feel like it's a fair assessment for me to say, okay, if you listening to this ratchet music, then okay, this is how I'm going to perceive you. Straight up. And I've even had people, just the way that I may carry myself on a day-to-day basis, kind of guess what I listen to. A lot of people always joke just from the way the stuff that I talk about. And when I carry books, one of the mainstream artists that folks know that be on that type of time is like Common. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of folks be joking because people don't really have an in-depth mute or hip-hop knowledge, you know, so they don't be knowing a lot of folks on the underground. So they may just throw a mainstream person that they know that be on a conscious vibe. So Common comes up a lot when people come across me and they don't really know what music I listen to, and they just see how I conduct myself. Oh man, you look like you the type dude listen to Common, which I fool with Common. You know what I'm saying? But I get that, you know, based on how I carry myself. And you are correct. I listen to Common. I listen to Common Sense. So again, it's like you can tell a lot about, man, we gotta, people be like, I mean, shouldn't judge, man. A lot of things are correct, especially when you tapped in. Now, when you're not tapped in, that's different. But when you tapped in, man, you can tell a lot, man, just by observing and analyzing. Okay, man, Mud's listening to that. And not just when they go into the club or whatever, they listen to this on a day-to-day basis. Man, let me tap in, let me examine this person. You learn a lot. And and I'm glad you said it, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of us brothers can have all contradictory ways, you know, but I'm going to be one of the ones that I'm going to own up to it, hold myself accountable for it. But a lot of times when the shoe is on the other foot and I'm bringing this up to women, man, it'd be a different conversation. Like the conversation just goes totally left field sometimes. And it's not all the time. You know, some women can look in the mirror and hold themselves accountable. But for the most part, you would think you would think mothers would come to some type of senses, but no. All right, Chaos, what you got? You say, my question, do you think that Black women in corporate or in the work field look down on regular brothers that work the 9 to 5 because the boss be sleeping and triggering the reasons? CC, what's happening? Do they look down? Some of them do for sure. For sure. And I wish I had that book. Man, let me see if I got it around. Nope, I ain't even got it. But Wesley Muhammad mentioned something like that in the book, Understanding the Assault on Black Masculinity, on a Black man. I forgot, I might be paraphrasing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see if I got it. Yeah, Understanding the Assault on the Black Man. That's the first volume. And he talked about, he brought up, and it's another book called Black Like Me or something like that. When it's was it a white dude that dressed up, that kind of not dressed up, but painted himself black and walked around or dealt with them white folk just to kind of get a glimpse of life from our perspective. And he came across some startling information that has translated or transferred over to the current corporate climate. And he talked about how a lot of the white slave masters who ended up becoming bosses and things like that, like their attitude towards the Black woman, it pertains to that sleeping and tricking. You know, it was a statement, man. I want to go grab that book where he said one white dude was like, he talked about sleeping with the Black employees, the Black women that he employed, you know, and basically saying if she wanted to get to the top, the person was asking, like, what if she doesn't want to sleep with you to get to the top? And the white man was like, well, if she knows what's best for her, she gonna do exactly that. This is reality, man. Like this is a white man in that position said that. So if we think that this stuff still doesn't exist, sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. That was their mentality then. That is their mentality now. So that was brought up in the light of basically Black women having more access back in the slave days, having more access to the white folks than black men. Like they would let the black woman in the crib and hold the babies and take care of the babies, be nannies and things like that. And a lot of times what was happening was the white dude, sometimes it was rape involved. Most of the time it was rape involved. But a lot of times there was some sexual encounters going on for the black woman to have that access. You know, so this transferred over into the workforce. So it all started in slavery. That black woman having that access to the crib or having more access to the crib than a black man, because the black woman is not necessarily a physical threat to the white power structure. So they will let her in. So then they knew in order to further divide us, once the corporate world was set up and they so-called got rid of that form of slavery, transformed over to corporate slavery, then they knew exactly what they was going to end up doing. We gonna get these black women these high corporate positions, and a lot of times it's a lot of nonsense that's going on. A lot of sleeping with the bosses and things like that is happening. Now, is it happening all the time? I ain't gonna say that. I can't. Nothing is 100%, but it's definitely happening because that's history. Just like for a black dude to get in certain positions, he got to shuck and jive and sell his people out. You know what I'm saying? So best believe that. But when it comes to access to white people, white families, the white home, black women was given more access easily than a black man, you know. So and that is reflecting in the current climate in today's corporate structure and corporate world. They don't have no problem giving that black woman access. They don't have no problem with that, especially now since they have divided us, right? They done divided us now, so we could really give her power. Because now she just gonna shit on another brother. She gonna shit on the black man. Like, she not gonna get the power, take it back to the black man, and then they build something with that. No. She gonna get her power that we gave her access to, and she gonna talk down on the brothers that we are not giving the same access to. That's what's gonna happen. And is this me making an excuse? No. Not an excuse at all. This is just me highlighting reality. That's why I removed myself from the corporate structure. I don't have time to play that game. You know, I'm building my own thing. I don't have time to play corporate games because I already know what it is and I know what type of brother I am. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got time to play that game. So I removed myself from that structure. That's my solution. I'm not about to be having these white dudes having that type of power and control over my life. No. Emphatically, no, it's not happening. You know, so the moment I went on a job and saw a white dude that was interviewing me or saw a white dude at the top, I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna work. I know how this is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? And then nowadays we got such a fugazi culture. So now, back in the day, you just had to worry about, well, mainly you had to worry about the women sleeping with the white male CEO. Nowadays, these dudes so fugazi, you got that stuff going on. So now it's not just the sister that's sleeping with the CEO. It might be one of these dudes. It might be one of them brothers, and it might be one of them young white dudes. All this type of stuff is going on. You know, the freaky stuff y'all see Diddy do, all these CEOs, like they be on that. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that Diddy got accused of, R. Kelly, all that type of stuff. Man, look, these CEOs of all these jobs we work and we didn't work, they doing the same things. Best believe it. Best believe it. And now it's not just necessarily the women. Like, now the women got to worry about this CEO might be sleeping with this dude. You know, this dude quickly coming up the ranks, and you like, what's going on? It might be some funny boy business going on, you know, because that community got a lot of pull and power too, and they in some high positions. I didn't work in some places where them type of people was at the top. So you already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know what's going on. So now you got that's going on. That community getting into a lot of power positions. So now that stuff is going on. So now you got some other propositions going on. So it's not just, man, white dude, in order for this black chick or this white chick to get to the top, they got to do this, that, and the third. Now you got one of the alphabets up there, and they need somebody to be on some different type of time. Man, I ain't got time for that. And that, if you don't think that type of stuff goes on, I don't know what to tell you. If you think that these corporations just move strictly off of your work, your work quality, and your results, sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. I ain't nobody got time for that. Sadly mistaken. So I had to remove myself from that, man. I ain't got time for that. I know what type of brother I am. I'm not going for the nonsense. So with that being said, a lot of doors get shut right in your face because you're not going, and I'm cool with that. Like I'm cool with it. Okay, chaos for sure. The Joy Taylor, matter of fact, the Joy Taylor situation is funny because I didn't hear her talk about women's empowerment and all that. But the funny part, the funniest part of that story wasn't even the fact that she slept her way to that position. The part that I found most interesting was how she was basically when they served when she served her purpose, how she was about to accuse these brothers of misconduct. That's the part that got me. That little small part right there is where I was like, see, it's a lot of brothers right now that's going through some lawsuits like that because of people like that. Joy Taylor brought that to the surface. She admitted to, based on the allegations, which, listen, to me, I feel like it's right and exact just based off of the way I see how she conduct herself. I see the truth in it, but I could be wrong. But I see the truth in this statement. But based on what was stated or alleged, she planned on falsely accusing these dudes of like harassment and all that type of nonsense once everybody served their purpose and everything ran its course. So you gonna sleep your way to the top. You gonna consent to the sexual acts, right? Then when everything has run its course, now you're gonna say that these dudes harassed you. Wow. So now that makes you question all these other lawsuits and situations that's out here. Thank you, Joy. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you for that. That was dumb. Very dumb. Like, that was dumb, you idiot. Like, she's an idiot. That's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're dumb. You're dumb. You have just set the community back 400 more years with that stupidity, with just everything you did. Now, of course, the folks that's out here willing to promote based on that, that's trash in and of itself too. But man, come on, now you was gonna use that against them? Be real about it, fam. You slept your way to that situation. Don't come like just own up to that. But the moment you about to start lying on these dudes and act like you didn't consent to that, to me, that's more foul than anything. Like, to me, that's more foul, fam. That's more foul. To me, that's the more malicious act right there when you was gonna turn around and lie on these dudes. That I don't like that part, man. That's the equivalent of these dudes once you ran their course coming out and saying you slept your way to the top. That's the equivalent to me. Like, that's messed up. Like, all of a sudden you gonna consent to this, but then when everything runs its course, you gonna use this stuff against them. Man, that's foul, man. It's foul. Ken, the main line. Peace, what's happening? Kelvin, she was going to do it anyway because she was going to think subconsciously that was going to promote her, like that was going to lead to promotions. So yeah, she was going to do it. She might was going to do it anyway because subconsciously in her mind, she would have thought that it would have led to something. Trust me, mugs ain't out here just giving out the goods without some ulterior motives attached to them, especially in them type of industries. So yeah, she might have been about to do it anyway, but it was a subconscious factor to that anyway. Like, man, if I do this with these dudes in this profession, this might lead to X, Y, and Z. Subconsciously, you that's what she's thinking, even if she's not directly doing it for that reason. It's a subconscious element that's attached to it. Terenzo, for sure. Don't like the law, but can't wait to use that law against us. Now, of course, I have again come across some that just be trying their hardest not to get the laws involved, but I've seen some that can't wait to go to the law. But then the moment we see some unfair treatment from law enforcement on the news, everybody jumping up like, this is why I don't like the cops, this is why I don't like the law, this is why I don't like this, that, and the third. And them the first people you go and call. Them the first people you go and run to when you got a problem. People, they selective with the outrage, man. They just selective with the stuff that they stand on and stand for. And I feel like it's just ridiculous. Them the first people you go run and cry to, but you don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, come on now. The first people you go call, but you don't like these people though. Oh, okay. You know, so that doesn't make much sense to me. But yeah, that Joy Taylor situation is just ridiculous, man, on her end, because of, for one, telling old girl to just accept it, whole while you plotting to use things against dudes. That's foul, man. Like, that's foul. It's foul on all ends. You know, I ain't finna be offering you no money to be doing this, and I'm not about to be having you engage in this act and boost you up, man. Nobody got time to be doing that, man. Like, that never ends. Somebody go find me an example of when that ends well. Like, people gotta learn, like, that never ends well. So that's why I'm gonna call you an idiot when you do these things. You are an idiot. All of the people that was involved in that are dumb. Like, you are an idiot. You lack discernment, because this stuff never ends well. So why am I doing it? Like, at some point, you got to learn from, like, history, man. You got to learn from the past. But I'm not about to engage in something that I already know how this is going to end. So then when it ends that way, we just looking stupid. Dudes be getting online, deleting and removing posts. Like, dude, it's 2025. The first thing that happened when these allegations popped up, people went right on your Instagram and Facebook and all this, and they screenshotting videos. Like, you can't delete this stuff, man. Like, and deleting it in and of itself makes you look guilty of what you were accused of. Like, you might as well just leave it up, man. If you got nothing to hide, you gonna just leave it up. What they go do, I'm gonna go delete this. I'm gonna go remove it. Like, the world didn't just see it. Like, somebody ain't screenshot it. You know, you got hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers, and you think you can delete a video and it doesn't resurface. Like, these people lack discernment, man. Like, they are dumb, and we give them too much credit. We place them on a pedestal. Like, these people are not the wisest of the bunch. A lot of these entertainers and a lot of these celebrities, man, the way that they be moving and things that they do, just dumb. And that lets you know that money cannot afford or purchase common sense and discernment. You have all the money in the world and still lack common sense, good judgment, and discernment. We see it all the time. You know, so when it comes to the things, when people talk about things money can't buy, that's it. It cannot buy discernment, cannot buy common sense, cannot buy good judgment. These folks with money make some of the dumbest decisions, and they think that the money can cover it up. Not all the time. Again, cream always rises to the top, fam. So these people, man, these people have terrible judgment. Terrible judgment. When I be looking at some of this, I'm like, dude, why would you even think that you was going to be able to get away with that? Or did you think that? Like, some other times, I'm like, nah, they knew they was going to get caught. Like, they did not think they was going to get away with that. Like, they knew they was going to get caught. Because it's like, come on, man. Like, the first thing they preach, which they don't never do, but that's in the rule book, man. Like, don't have any relations with co-workers, man. You know what I mean? Like, they tell you this. And what these folks go do? That's the first thing they go do. They tell, this is in the rule book, which nobody follows, because it never ends well. It's a reason why people tell you do not do that. It's a reason why folks tell you keep it professional. because we know it's not going to end well. But do folks do it? No. They think the more money I got, the more we can sweep this under the rug. Come on, man. When you got big money involved, like, to me, the bigger the money, the bigger the problem will become. You know, like if you got a ton of money, then all that's about to happen is they gonna plotting like Joy Taylor. Yeah, they got all this money. So what I'm about to do, okay, I'm gonna consent, but I'm gonna stick up for everything they got when this stuff is ran its course. So the more money you got that you feel like you could throw at a problem, like the more money you gonna come out of. Man, they milk you for everything, man. Just like having a child with the wrong person. The more money you got, the more that's gonna cost you. You know what I'm saying? Like the more money you got, the more it's gonna cost you to have a child by the wrong person. And these people with more money be making the worst decisions when it comes to that. The worst decisions. And then get mad at like you the one talking to this chick that the whole world and told you nah. You know what I'm saying? So then when stuff does pop off and you do get played, now you mad. And I don't feel sorry for you. Cool K, what's happening? Main line, bunch of them. Bunch of rich fools, man, and it's ridiculous. Oh, Terenzo, I got to tap into that video. I got to tap into that. I'll be real for sure. And it's a big time illusion. Big time illusion. Big time illusion. You know, but we gotta, hey man, we gotta just start bringing more light to the contradictions, the hypocrisies, and all of that, man. We gotta start calling this type of stuff out. You know, the topic here, the things that was brought up, man. We just gotta start calling this stuff out, calling a spade, and hey, standing on that square, because I'm gonna stand on this square musically every time, fam. That's one of the first things that started to change when I evolved, man, was my music taste. You know, when I started to read more, acquire some information, I say, man, I started changing what I was listening to, fam, like literally. So that just let me know what type of mindset folks be operating on, man. I don't want to hear nothing about just entertainment and it ain't that deep. Yes, it is. Yeah, I hate when people tell me something ain't that deep. Problem with this world, nobody thinks deep enough. Like nothing is that deep to anybody. It ain't never that deep. Nah, it's always that deep. Mugs just be afraid to think. Use their minds, fam. Like for real. Stuff is always deeper than the surface, fam. That's why you never take anything on face value. That's why they tell you that. They tell you never take anything on face value because it's always deeper than what you see. What they say, believe none of what you see and half of what you hear and things like that. None of what you hear, half of what you see. My bad. But yeah, that's why they say these things, man, because it's always deeper than the surface. Always. When you ask a person, how you doing today? 99% of the time, person is going to lie to you. I'm good. The response is the reality is always deeper than the response. Every time you ask somebody how they doing, people lie. I'm good. I'm straight. Even if they tell you they bad, they're not going deeper. They're not telling you what the actual problem is. So again, the reality is always deeper than the response, fam. So it is always that deep. It's always deeper than what it seems. You know, it's always deeper than what it seems. So I don't like when somebody tell it ain't that deep, man. Yes, it is. Don't try to minimize or downplay somebody like myself that thinks about things in a deep nature or sense, all because you don't want to do it. Look, I'm able to have my moments where I lighten up and joke. You know what I'm saying? So I need for you to have your moments to where you think a little bit deeper. Tony, and that's my thing. the work, especially in the black community, the only time we take things seriously is basically when they tell us to take things seriously via the media. So when they want us to take things seriously, that's when we take things seriously. That's it. That's the only, when we take things seriously, it was planned. Like, all right, we're gonna have this, we gonna display this in the media. Black people gonna get emotional and riled up for like 1 week, you know, and the whole while they doing this, we gonna pass some laws that's gonna take away their freedoms and all this type of stuff. You know, so that's the only time we get serious, and that's really not serious because it don't last long. And it's more reactionary. You know, it's reactive. We reacting instead of being proactive, you know. So that's the only time we serious about something is when they give us something to be serious about. That's it. Politics. Okay, it's time to vote. Vote. Now let's get serious. But now who talking about politics now? When it was time to vote, everybody was a politician. Every black person had a political science degree and they got their PhD in political science. Every black person. Now, who done been talking about Trump? Who done been talking about Kamala? Who done been talking about any type of policy? Who? These same people that had everything to say. These same people that had everything to say when it was that time, who talking about it now? What black person talking about it now that was talking about it then? Very small portion. But when it was that time, all black people knew everything about politics. Every last thing, they knew everything about it. Now nobody's talking about it because they not putting it in front of our faces, making us talk about it. And that's why I don't respect a lot of black folks, man. That's nonsense. Only time we political science, we got political science PhDs when it's that time. Everybody was well versed in politics. Everybody. That's why I don't take people seriously. That's why I don't be entertaining the opinions of a lot of folks. Because this is stuff I be on from time to time, from all the time, 365, 24/7. I mean, I got a book right here, Racial Matters, just talking about how the FBI was having us under surveillance from 1960 to 1972. Like, I'm always on this type of time. It ain't just when it's time to select or place a president on the throne or a puppet master on the throne. No, like, I'm always studying politics, government mistreatment, government corruption. Like, I'm always on that. You know what I'm saying? Always. Always. Doesn't stop. I don't care what month it is. So I'll be finding that type of stuff funny, man. Because now I'm saying black people that had everything to say to you back then, not saying anything to me. They ain't saying anything to me. You can't have a political discussion and save your day, save your life right now. Promise you could. If you try to talk politics right now with somebody, the conversation, I don't even want to talk about that. But you wanted to talk about it some months ago. Man, get out of my face. Black folks don't really be on nothing. That's why nobody takes us seriously. We don't take ourselves seriously. We just be a joke. We just react to everything. We respond how it's predictable. Like, come on, man. We don't take nothing serious at all. Just pathetic, man. It's pathetic. You know, the garbage we be listening to, the garbage that we entertain. We don't have any ounce of balance. People always talk about balance, man. Like, oh, man, I can't just listen to conscious music all day. Fool, idiot. Am I saying that? Am I asking you to do that? No. I'm saying balance. People don't even have balance. They're not even listening to music with a message 2% of the time. So don't talk to me about balance when you don't even got 5% worth of music with a message that's playing. Everything you listen to toxic and garbage, you know, and we gonna judge you accordingly. And I don't care how you feel about it. You gotta grow up and mature at some point in time in your life. You know, we gotta stop being childish and stop possessing these childish mindsets, man. Like, you 15, you know what I'm saying? You 40 going on 15 in the mind. It's ridiculous. Like, grow up, fam. Like, we gotta grow up, dog. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, I should be able to pull out this book, Racial Matters, and it not be an elephant in the room, not look stupid, because mugs don't want to discuss it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we, especially around a bunch of adults, like, man, grow up, man. grow up, man. We didn't had our fun. You know, we didn't did all that type of stuff when we was kids in the younger years, man. Now we gotta have uncomfortable conversations. You know, it ain't about always being comfortable. It ain't always about being comfortable, fam. It ain't always about necessarily doing what you like. You know what I'm saying? It's like being healthy, fam. It ain't always about eating the foods that I like that taste the best. No, I'm trying to get these nutrients. So I'm about to eat some foods that don't necessarily taste the best so I can get what I need. Back when I was a kid, I'm eating all the candy. I'm eating all the stuff that's garbage. Look what that did for me. It's garbage, but it tasted good. I'm going off taste. I'm going off of color. Oh, that look good. I'm going to get that. Oh, man, at some point we got to grow up. It's got to stop being about all that. Everything, entertainment. Man, shut up. You know, sometimes, man, you just got to educate yourself. You got to deal with the stuff that's mundane, that might be boring. Like, learn you something, fam. It ain't always about what's entertaining, what you like, man. It ain't always about that, fam. You can have your moments of that, but that ain't always about that. And that's why these other cultures surpass us, because they not necessarily doing all the stuff that entertains them. They not just gravitating towards what entertains them. No, they gravitating towards what's going to get them ahead, fam. What's going to get them ahead? Literally, that's what they on. We worried about, that's boring. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to read that. I don't want to watch that. Man, be quiet, fam. When you be 35, we 40. What you mean? What you mean you don't want to watch a documentary on the mistreatment of black people? Man, what do you mean, fam? Like, what you mean you don't want to educate yourself on the history of your people that can explain a lot in regards to what's going on now? What are you talking about? When you didn't just spent the last 34 years of your life being entertained by garbage, stuff that has no type of impact on you evolving and elevating. Come on, man. Like, at some point, man, we got to go ahead and grow up, man. At some point, man, things got to mature. Your taste buds, you know what I'm saying? Your interest in music, just your interest in general. Like, at some point, certain things got to grow up. Like, you eat the same way you eat when you was 10? I would hope not. Unless you grew up in a fairly healthy household. You know what I'm saying? The way I ate at 10, I can't eat at 35. I can't. If I keep doing that, I'm not going to last long. Shouldn't have been eating that way at 10, but at 10, man, you could get away with a little bit more. Well, at least my generation. Nowadays, man, nah. Nowadays, that ain't necessarily reality. But, man, I'm not eating the same way I ate at 10. No. It's childish. I can't do that. I got to put them vegetables in my system, man. Like, I got to put them fruits in my system, man. I have to do that. I have to do that. That has to be the priority of my regimen. Like, that has to be at the forefront of my regimen. Has to be, fam. So that's the whole thing. Why are we doing things? Why are we entertaining things, man? Why are we embracing things that we should leave? For one, I ain't gonna say we should leave it to the youth, because, hey, we need to stop letting them be entertained by some of this garbage, to be honest with you. But, like, man, especially us adults, man. And then we say dumb things like, when you got some of this ratchet music, we start saying idiotic things like, oh, this music isn't for children. This music is for adults. It's grown folks music. Shut up. It ain't grown folks music. It's toxic music. It's hypersexual music. That's what it is. It's degrading music. Stop calling it grown folks music. Grown folks music, we striving to go grind. We striving to take care of ourselves, take care of our families. We striving to eat right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's grown folks music. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are grown folks vibes. Grown folks vibes is not me putting on the smallest shorts that I see and going to let the whole world see what I'm working with. That ain't grown folks vibes. Them ain't childish vibes. I'm a toxic and degrading vibes. That's what that is. Call it what it is. Don't say, oh, that's grown folks. This grown folks only should be listening to this music. No. Mature adults are not listening to that music, especially on a day-to-day basis. They not listening to that. Like, we gotta grow up, and we wonder why cycles keep repeating themselves, man, because we afraid to change, we afraid to transform, we afraid to evolve. When you are afraid or when you resist change, you are resisting nature, because that's the only thing that's constant in nature is change. So when you resist it, you are going against the grain, you are going against nature, and that's going to lead to self-destruction and destruction in general. So if all of us keep self-destructing because we resisting the one thing that's constant, then that's going to lead to mass destruction. And that's what you have, fam. So we got to stop resisting transformation, change, man, change, fam. You had what that music had its run when you was 15, man. You 35. Listen to something different. Listen to something different, man. It's not a crime. You will be surprised at what you might find out here, man, if you just open up your earbuds, your taste buds, things like that, fam. Change. Change is not a crime. Not a crime. So we resist the one thing that's constant in the entire universe. Change. And we wonder why it's a bunch of destruction going on. Because we resist and change, man. Transformation. Transformation, change. Stop resisting that. As you grow older, as your age increases, man, you should be increasing in wisdom. Your ways and actions should be wiser. Your decision making should be better. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you do and choose should reflect that increase in age, and it's not happening, fam. Like, what are you doing with your life? You're not learning anything, fam. Lorenzo, exactly. Grown for me, you know what I'm saying? And this music, this toxic music just leads to dysfunction. Dysfunction. Like, that's it. It leads to dysfunction, and it leads to me not taking you seriously. Like, it leads to me not taking you seriously. And again, like I say, am I telling you you got to be 100% righteous with the music? No. But again, you folks that say that, y'all not even 10% righteous with the music. Y'all not even 20%. Not even close, fam. Not even close. Not even close. Like I say, man, I'm finally balanced. I go into the gym, man. You might hear in a 30-minute time span, you might hear Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Benny the Butcher, old UGK, Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, Dead Prez, K Reno, old Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no telling what you're gonna hear. Najee, like, man, I got some of everything going on. Jill Scott, you liable to hear anybody. You know what I'm saying? Anything, anybody. That is balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna balance the stuff out. And then if I go on a streak of listening to the all bad music for too long, I calculate that. I'm like, hold on, whoa, no, let me counter that. Been listening to this a little too much. Let me go throw on some smoother vibes, fam. Let me go throw on some, you know what I'm saying? Let me go throw on this Poor Righteous Teachers or something real quick, you know, because I done been turned up a little too much here. Like, I catch myself when I'm in that state, because again, my energy might reflect that. So I'm like, hold on, man, let me tap into some other stuff. The main line, I'm trying to tell you, but then you listening, man, you listening to some old Lil Jon and East Side Boys or something, and somebody cut you off. Man, you ready to get out that car, some old, you know what I'm saying, some old Pastor Troy or something. You ready to get out that car and throw some bows. You know, somebody cut you off. Man, you like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? You listening to some old class joints, man. You got Duke Ellington. You ain't caring the world, man. Some Howlin' Wolf of Lou Rawls or something. You ain't even notice the person cut you off. You don't even care. Oh, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right. Mugs must be Must be late. Like you start justifying why they cut you off. Like you start giving them the benefit of the doubt when you listening to the Lou Rawls or something. You giving them a benefit of the doubt. Man, they must got an emergency. Like you ain't mad at all. But man, you listening to some old Pastor Troy or something, somebody cut you off. Your entire demeanor is different. Man, you ready to jump off the top rope, you know what I'm saying, and hit him with the Macho Man Randy Savage elbow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you ready to do. Been there, done that. Energy just different. So, and that's how sometimes that's how I correct my energy. I change the music up. So hold on, man. Like I'm feeling like, all right, this commute getting a little rough here. Let me change the music. Like that's one thing that I will do. I promise you I will do that. You know, if I'm listening to a certain type of music and stuff is frustrating me with like traffic, I'm gonna change the music up. I'm gonna listen to something a little softer. I'm like, obviously, I'm listening to a little harder. I'm gonna listen to something that, you know what I'm saying, that's got me thinking. And it changes it up. Like I don't respond the same way. So I'll be doing that. Because like I say, I ain't got time for that, man. You know, it's certain music, man. I just can't play in certain situations because it's gonna have me ready to respond in a way that I might regret later. So I can't drive and listen to Pastor Troy, you know, and I keep bringing up Pastor Troy because Pastor Troy, one of the dudes I'm gonna listen to in the gym because that's the energy and he's one of the goats of that energy. You know, Pastor Troy had me amped, you know what I mean? So boom, I can't listen to that when I'm driving. No, I'm gonna start speeding. And matter of fact, back in my day, I had to go to driving school because, you know, I used to get pulled over all the time. Partially because Muzz was messing with me. The other part because I was just out here driving recklessly. Had all the subs, had the beats in the whip. And, you know, when I had to go to driving school, I had them tickets. So I had to get the points off my record and whatnot. I'll never forget one dude. He was like, what causes you to speed? Because a lot of people was in there had speeding tickets. And the dude flat out raised his hand. First thing he said was like, music I'm listening to. He was like, sometimes, man, when a certain song come on, I'm not even aware of how fast I'm going. That was a prime example of how music can just get you to move in a certain type of way and you don't even be aware of it. I was in driving school. Buddy raised his hand. He asked us, what causes you to speed? First thing Buddy said was the music. That's the first thing he said. And everybody agreed with him. He was like, man, listen, when certain songs come on, he literally said, I don't even be aware that I'm going that fast. Like you not even aware that you driving 100 in a 30. You know what I'm saying? Like the music will do that, man. The music will have you zoned out. Fam, that's literally why I used to listen to certain music before a football game or certain music before a football game. You zoning out. You transform it into a killer, man. Like you literally zone out. Any of my people that play sports, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know y'all had y'all songs that y'all played. And when y'all played them before a situation, man, you might kill somebody out there. That stuff causes you to zone out. This is the powerful impact that music can have. So if we know and understand that music can cause us to do these things, I feel like it's a fair judgment to where if 90% of the time you listening to this ratchet and toxic music, it's right for me to assume that that's what you own. That's what you like, and that's how you like to be perceived. Straight up. And I don't feel no type of way about it. I'm not one of those religious folks. Thou shalt not judge. No, hell no. I judge, and that keeps me out of situations. I'm judging based on what you show me. I'm judging based off my observations, based off the data that I collect, based off what you tell me, based off what you show me, all that. I'm judging. So I'm not one of them. I don't live by that type of law. I don't live according to that doctrine. Oh, we shouldn't judge. Nah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Can I be wrong? Yes, indeed. But I can also be right with my judgment. Judging situations and judging people has prevented me from entering bad situations and bad situations with people. So bad environments and bad situations with people. Judging, which we all do, but some want to act like we don't do it, or we want to act like it's this bad thing. Man, judging is not bad, fam. Judging is only bad when you literally, like, notice I said observations, I said data, and I said things that you are telling me. So I'm judging based off intel. I'm not judging based off hearsay, based off preconceived notions. I'm judging based off what you are giving me. That's when judging is good. I'm not gonna have another person give me this information and I'm judging based off that. No, I need to see this for myself. Then that's when I make my judgment. Okay, this is what this person is showing me. I'm gonna judge based off of that. Or this is what I know about this particular environment. Here are patterns based off of history. Okay, I'm gonna make a judgment. Yeah, man. Hey, I see y'all that mentioned 3-6 Mafia. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, don't even give me like don't even get me started on that. Like literally, when you went to clubs, they knew exactly what, so they play certain songs, they know a fight gonna break out. And Lorenzo, you name one of the, once that song comes on, they know a fight is gonna break out. Lil Jon knocking heads off. The song is telling you what to do, and you gonna go listen to it. A fight will break out. So it was when we would go to clubs and parties back in the day. Once certain songs come on or came on, we like, yep, fight about to break out. Just like when they decide to slow it down. So then when they decide to play the slow jams, the mood or the energy shifts in the club. They literally have been demonstrating the power of music to us our entire lives. When we want to turn it up, we're gonna play this type of music. We want y'all to calm down. How many people is out here fighting the usher? Or lovers and friends come on? How many fights broke out? Ain't nobody fighting to that. You got a different energy. You got a different mindset. Lovers and friends come on. You ain't ready to punch this dude in his face. Your mind is not there, man. You know, Usher, Let It Burn, come on. You ain't ready to pile drive a dude. You ain't worried about who you got beef with. You looking for the women. Looking for, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, it's controlling you. But you can go from 0 to 100 that quick. They can change it. They can go from Lovers of Friends to 3-6 Mafia. Now you looking for the dude that stepped on your shoes last week. You know what I'm saying? You was just chilling with the chick. Now you ready to body slam and throw somebody's head into, you know what I'm saying, through the glass. They have been demonstrating. They have been demonstrating to us the power of music for our entire lives, man. Yeah, they clone Tyra. I remember that. Y'all, when I was watching that, I was like, yep. And this like stuff I've been talking about for the longest. If I want to, like, I'm trying to tell, when that scene came on, man, like, y'all don't understand. I wish I could have went live while I watched. Because, man, I'm trying to tell you this stuff I've been trying to drill to people. You want to control people, man, get them all in the venue, play some music. It's over with. You finna get these people. It's over with. Play some music. Play some music. You had select songs that came on back in the day where you knew when this song came on, all right, we about to go get the chicks when this song come on. You know what I'm saying? Clockwork. We ain't even understanding how we be in control. We ain't even understanding how our ways and actions have been dictated based on the selection of songs. The DJ knowing this, we not. We foolish thinking this ain't the reality. Man, I remember that. Yep, I remember that Travis Scott that. Yep, all of that. Mugs be under hypnosis, don't even know it. Mugs be part of rituals, don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Mugs just don't even listen to the radio, play the same. Can't tell you last time I voluntarily turned on the radio. I don't even know what station plays what music these days. You know what I'm saying? Play the same 5-10 songs on repeat. You part of a ritual. You know what I'm saying? You part of a ritual. They program you. Now all of a sudden, a song is stuck in your head. Oh, okay. That song that's stuck in your head got you craving things, got you going after things that you don't even understand why you going after it and craving it. That song that's stuck in your head. It was performed and recorded at a certain frequency to where now that frequency got a hold of you. And so now it's deeper than the actual words that's stuck in your head. Your actions about to reflect something, and you're not about to understand that. Something else, like, you know, that frequency about to grab a hold of you, and that's what they want. I need that frequency to grab a hold of you. So when the Ratchet music or when the Ratchet song is stuck in your head, it's deeper than the lyrics. So that Ratchet energy now, that Ratchet frequency is now about to attach itself to you, and that's what they are after. I need to get that frequency attached to you, and once they do that, now they got you. Man, Ray, I'm trying to already know. That song come on, you about to turn into a holder. I mean, that type of song will come on. Some of the most respectable people, like people you didn't even think would have that in them, it'll come out of them. Like we just seen it all. We just seen it all. We didn't seen it. We didn't seen it all, fam. We didn't seen it all. I mean, the person that you was like, dang, I ain't no such got down like that. So play a certain song. Play a certain song. You're gonna get all the truth that you need when you play that certain song. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But y'all, man, with that being said, I gotta tap out. I gotta make my juice. I gotta head back up to this gym and get out here and drive in this ridiculous weather, man. They had a week to prepare for this inclement weather, and they did a horrible job over here, man. So if y'all are in any of these areas that has been affected by this snow, y'all can relate to this struggle. This is ridiculous and pathetic, man. Like it's still kind of ridiculous out here, man. And we supposed to get some more snow in the morning. This is ridiculous. This is nuts. This is when I start thinking about Africa right here, man. I cannot stand this weather. Y'all can let the white folks have this weather. This is what I do not approve of right here. I do not like cold, do not like snow. Not for your boy. But not going to hold y'all too much longer, man. I got to go make these juices and head back up to this gym. So I appreciate y'all tapping in with the kid. Y'all be easy out here, man. I'm going to tap in when I tap in, man. Appreciate y'all. I'm out, though. Peace.